Hey everyone, welcome to Grundy Lake Provincial Park. This is our second time here, and in this video we are going to be doing an updated park tour and taking you along to see what we get up to on this camping experience. This was the third and final stop on our 10-day camping trip up north, and I wish we could have stayed longer. Grundy is a large park with 9 campgrounds offering electric and non-electric camping options. Hemlock, Red Maple, and Group Campground Site 902 are radio and generator free. If you're looking for backcountry camping or a roofed accommodation, Grundy has you covered with 1 rustic cabin and 10 backcountry sites. The park has 4 trails, 6 sand beaches, multiple spots for fishing, and bikes are permitted on park roads and on the Pakeshkag Lake Trail. For trailers, there are 2 water filling stations, and the dump station has 2 lanes. We drove here from Halfway Lake, and the drive only took us about 2 hours. So let's jump into our experience at Grundy Lake. Well, we've made it to Grundy, and we did have to go to the gatehouse so that I could check in and actually get a paper permit for our vehicle. I didn't read that when I checked in online that you needed to do that, so I only went in to get a map, but turns out you actually have to check in at the gatehouse so that you can get that paper. Now we are at one of the 2 water filling stations. This one is before the dump station, so you pull in and there's water towers on both sides, or you can just drive up the hill. We saw that it was lined up the hill, so we pulled in here, but it is the crossover right now between people leaving and arriving because it is about 1:35, so there are a few people up here dumping. And this is something we've never seen before, but there's a notice here stating that the recent water sampling has shown that it has higher quantities of sodium content. It's still safe to drink, but if you're on a sodium-reduced diet, you may want to seek water elsewhere. Well, the road is quite bumpy in here, so we are squeaking up a storm, and Alan is doing the wild and aggressive speed of 6 kilometers an hour. So we're just ripping it in here. After we arrived and got all set up on our site, we did a walkthrough of our campground and found a pet exercise area between Hemlock and White Spruce campgrounds. Down here there was a small parking lot, a spot to store your canoes and kayaks, and the pet exercise and swimming area. Well, today started off as a gloomy morning. It was rainy and dark, but the sun is coming out now and it sounds like the rain is slowing down. It hasn't been raining all morning though. Earlier this morning, Alan went out around 6 a.m. and he actually saw a moose, but not just any moose. This moose was swimming across the lake. And I'm quite jealous because the entire trip, actually the entire 4 years that we've been camping now, the only thing that I want to see is a moose, and he's seen 2 now, but this time he did get it on camera, so I'm going to put the clip in here.
Well, I've got my camera put away. I've just got my phone out right now, but I can't believe it. That is a moose. Talk about an amazing wildlife spotting. Absolutely gorgeous and majestic fluff.
And where was I, you might ask? Well, I was snoozing. So the saying goes, if you snooze, you lose, and I definitely proved that true. So we're just hanging around the site until it stops raining a little bit, and then we are going out to explore the park. We are off on the main road, walking along the shoulder, and there is a paved walking area or biking area, so that's really good. And up here is the Discovery Center, so let's take a peek. Alan was so excited about his moose sighting this morning, as he should be, but now we are off to find the same spot that he saw the moose this morning so he could show me his morning adventure.
It's highly unlikely we'll see that moose again because she's with me, but if she wasn't here, we would have seen it again.
Just my luck. And on the way to the Gut Lake Trail, there is a picnic pavilion that is covered. Lots of picnic tables in there. There is a lot of parking up here as well. And this seems to be a location where you can launch a kayak or canoe, which we might do later today. And right beside the Gut Lake Trail entrance is the amphitheater.
To moose or not to moose? That is the question.
The answer is to moose, obviously. Anyways, this looks like a really nice amphitheater. I don't know what they use it for here. We didn't see any signs that said there was any programming. There was a sign out yesterday for the Discovery Center though, so maybe we just missed it. The Gut Lake Trail is a 2.5 kilometer loop, and at a leisurely pace it can be hiked in 1.5 hours. I believe this one is moderate. And this little beach area here in front of the Gut Lake Trail entrance is an excellent spot to launch your canoes, kayaks, stand-up paddleboards, and the parking lot isn't too far away. So although the sign said there's no special difficulties on this trail, or no particular difficulties, if it is wet, the rocks are kind of slippery and some of them are steep, so that's just something to know if you are doing this trail. I found a few spots that I did slip a little bit, and I'm even wearing proper footwear today. And this is the location where Alan saw the moose this morning. Just swimming by. I can see why it's very beautiful. The moose knows what they're talking about. I don't know how it's possible, but every viewpoint there is on this trail is prettier than the first one. And it just keeps getting more beautiful the further you go. We've made it to the end of Gut Lake, and it is absolutely beautiful down here. It is worth it for these views indeed. This gets a little bit too difficult for Alan's knee, and we are getting swarmed. So we're gonna backtrack now, which is not a bad thing because all of the pretty views are actually on the first half of the trail by the water. So we can enjoy the views again. Just behind me, there is a Learn to Fish program running right now with lots of small children over there learning to fish right off the dock area. And there's another hike that's going through with parents and kids on the Gut Lake Trail. They've got 2 guides with them, so that looks like another Discovery program activity. We are in Hemlock Campground with sites 100 to 165, and this is audio device free and generator free. We are on site 145, and it's in actually a really convenient location. I was quite surprised how close it was to a comfort station, the main beach area, Gut Lake, and the Gut Lake Trail, so it's a really good location. I would probably book in here again as well. This is from the back corner of the site, and as you can see, the electrical cord goes all the way around the perimeter, past Allen, and over to the electrical post that is right there. And so we did have to use both of our extensions. Oh, there goes Chippy. Both of our extensions to actually reach that based on where we put the trailer. Fire pit is in the back left. We had a nice new picnic table, which is great, and it is a rather large site. So it is rather weedy over here on the left side of the beach, but as you spin around, you can see it's nice and sandy over here. Nice spot too if you're in this campground to launch your canoes, kayaks, or stand-up paddleboards. And there is a shared comfort station between the White Birch and Jack Pine Campground. And now we're going to take a look at the Jack Pine Campground, and this is where we were on our very first trip to Grundy, and we'll show you the site where we saw a bear because it was on our site. This is the site here, 740, where there were tent campers, and the bear started there because they did not have their food put away properly. And this site up here where this little R pod is was our site, and the bear wandered right up and was over by our fire pit area. Oh, the memories. And throughout all of the campgrounds, they have sporadically placed vault toilets. 732 looks like an amazing non-electric site. Beautiful water view. And here is one of the boat launch areas that you can launch your watercraft here in Jack Pine. And now we are checking out the Balsam Campground, which is sites 818 to 863, and these are all non-electric. So this is the pet exercise area down by the Balsam Campground. And as you can see, over to the left here is also where their beach area is. So it's not too far away. So if you do have a dog, want to do non-electric camping, you could come down to the Balsam Campground, and then that way it's not too far to take your dog to a beach area. However, this campground is also closest to the road, so you do get a lot of traffic noise over here. It's not the most peaceful experience, but I don't think your dogs would mind. And the beach over here isn't very large, but it is a sandy beach area. The Beaver Dams Trail is 3.6 kilometers, should take you approximately 2.5 hours, and is a moderate to difficult loop. We aren't going to be doing this full trail, but it looks like there might be a little boardwalk area not too far in, so we are going to take a look at that. So I think we are about maybe 10 minutes into the trail, and it looks like it gets into some denser forest areas, and this is where we're choosing to turn around. But up to this point, it has been very easy, very leisurely.
And if you do walk down the path, the bridge is absolutely beautiful. I do recommend at least making it that far.
Now, if you're looking for large pull-through sites, then you may want to check out the trailer campground, because these are all pull-through spots. And these are not your typical pull-through sites. Like, there is some privacy in between. So you're not just out in an open field, kind of like at McRae where they have pull-through sites. It's not like that at all. There is some separation. And the trailer campground has a pretty nice beach area, although one section of it is rather weedy. There is a large sandy beach though. And although there are no true waterfront sites here in the trailer campground, there is great water access and places to leave your stand-up paddleboards, canoes, and kayaks for easy water access. This is the comfort station that's closer to the trailer and Poplar campgrounds. It's $2 to wash and $3 to dry, and this is a really nice laundry room with lots of folding space. This is easily the nicest comfort station that we have seen on our 3-park trip over the last week. This one is super clean, very modern, and I would give it like 5 thumbs up because it's just so nice. We're gonna give this lake trail a try. It is 2.6 kilometers linear, 5.2 total, and it will take about 1.5 to 2 hours, but it is rated easy. And as you can see, we are here, and just up a ways, there are 2 lookout points. So we probably don't even need to go to the very farthest one. Now, this trail is quite leisurely. It looks like it's just an old road that they converted into a trail, and you can also ride bikes on this trail, so just beware of bikers while you're walking. But I'm doing this trail in sandals, and it has been no problem. They even have some benches every so often down the path if you want to take a rest or enjoy the views, and overall, I really enjoy this one. Well, we made it to the end, and I think it was worth putting up with some of the aggressive black flies to get here. And we joined a huge group of people who were here. They were on bikes though, and definitely got past those black flies faster than us. All right, we are on Grundy Lake right now, and it is super calm, at least over by the main beach area, and we are going for a nice evening paddle. The last time we came here, we had our inflatable kayaks, and it was a windy day, and I do not recommend. So they were great little inflatable kayaks to see if we actually liked kayaking before we committed to purchasing real kayaks. So we're glad we did that, but don't take them out when it's too windy because it will not be an enjoyable time. Well, we had quite the day today. We did lots of hiking, exploring the park, we went kayaking, and I walked over 20,000 steps. So it was quite an active day here. I also did some more reading on this book, and I'm almost at the end. I think I have a couple chapters left, and I've been kind of like rationing out a couple chapters a day so that I didn't go through it too quickly. Yesterday I saw a little take a book, leave a book library at one of the sites. So I was like, I'm going to go back and exchange a book there. Well, they left, so I should have done that yesterday when I saw it, because then maybe I would have another book to read. But anyways, I'm still enjoying this one. It's a bit of a slow burn, nothing that really grabbed my attention right away, and kind of getting to the end, I just want to know what the mystery is. But overall, I'd probably give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. And now we're just going to sit by the fire. I'm probably going to finish my book and have a low-key evening, because we are getting up early tomorrow to head over to the Swan Lake Trail. Good morning. We came down to the Swan Lake Trail. It's about 6:30. This trail is 1.5 kilometers, and it says it's easy/moderate, so I guess it's difficult or more difficult in some areas. I don't think we're going to do the whole trail today. We've done this trail before. We're really just looking to see some of the lookout points and see if we can spot any wildlife. And since Alan already saw a moose, I think it's my turn. Well, we decided we would take a little bit of a day trip, so we made the drive about 15 minutes north to French River Provincial Park, and we were going to head inside the visitor center and do the Recollet Falls trails, and I'm probably saying that very incorrectly. If you want to see our full experience at French River, you can check out my latest video shown here on screen. It's linked in the description below. Before we went back to the park, we did stop in at the Grundy Lake Supply Post, where they had tons of souvenirs, clothing, shoes, home decor, food and beverage, and general camping supplies. If you needed anything, this would be your first stop because it's so conveniently located. You could also rent canoes here, and they had a food shack outside.
In terms of temperature, this is much colder than Halfway Lake, much colder than Martin River, but at the same time, ultra refreshing. The water temperature is cold, but well needed with this heat out here. It's close to 30 degrees Celsius right now, and this water is refreshing. And I really regret not swimming here the first time we were here. I mean, this is really nice.
It was hot enough to swim the first time,
Yeah,
too.
heck yeah.
The lakes here are non-motorized, so you can't have a motorized boat on the lake, so it's perfect conditions for kayaking, canoeing, stand-up paddleboarding, and swimming. And it's also just more peaceful because you don't hear motors in the distance. These washers here near our campground are $2.50 to wash, and the dryer is $3.25 per load, loonies and quarters only. And aside from needing a little clean, this does look like a nice washroom. The showers were clean too and had great water pressure. Then we hung out at the site for a low-key final evening. Good morning. It's our last day here at Grundy and I am on the Gut Lake Trail, 1, to try and spot a moose or really any wildlife, and 2, to let you know what I thought of our experience here. So I'm going to start with what I didn't like about this park. And honestly, these aren't necessarily dislikes, but more so considerations if you're coming here. And the first one is, if you're looking to do any sort of attraction or activity outside of the park, you will probably have to drive to Sudbury or Parry Sound because there's not much to do in the vicinity of the park. The second thing is, if you need to pick anything up, the park store isn't very large. They mostly just have some souvenirs, but the Grundy Lake Supply Post is outside of the park and they have a lot of amenities and things that you can get there, including rentals, so you can check that place out. There's even a little food stand there, but other than that, if you need anything, you will have to drive quite a distance to get it. And the last thing I'll mention is that this park is quite large, so it's not very walkable. If you're staying all the way in the Poplar Campground and you want to get over to, say, Clear Lake or the hiking trail over there, it is pretty far. Can you walk it? Yes, of course you can walk it, but it is quite the distance, so it's just not easily walkable to get from one side to the other in a short amount of time. It's going to take you a while. And now from a positive perspective, this park just has so much going for it. So it's amazing for kayaking and canoeing, swimming. They've got multiple beaches throughout the campgrounds, and there's so many places where you can launch your canoes and kayaks and stand-up paddle boards. There's so much to do at the park. They've got multiple trails. Just walking through the campgrounds is an activity. The comfort stations are the cleanest and nicest that we have seen on this entire trip that we've been on, and there's lots of wildlife sightings. So I would say that there's just so much that this park has to offer, and I can't believe it's taken us so long to come back here. I would also add, if you have children, this would be an excellent park to bring them to because their discovery program here was top notch. They had learn to fish, they had evening activities. During the day, the little booth that they had was open and they were doing various activities there as well. So it's really engaging for children. I also like that this park has multiple radio and generator free campgrounds, and I think one is even dog free as well. The one we stayed in was radio and generator free, and that just added a nice peaceful atmosphere to our camping experience because we had some people blasting music at the other parks we were at this week, and that just kills the vibe. And so I really enjoyed that it was a more peaceful camping experience and that they had different options here. We've officially camped at 40 Ontario provincial parks now, and that's not including the multiple campgrounds at Algonquin. I'm counting Algonquin as one because I only got one sticker from there. But anyways, out of all of those 40, I would say that this is probably my top 5, if not top 3 now, because I just love it here. I think it's beautiful. There's so much to see and do, and it's just the camping vibe that I go for, and I really enjoyed my time here. So if you haven't checked out Grundy Lake, I would definitely recommend it because it is a beautiful park. We're at the dump station now, and as we were getting here, we guessed that there would be 3 trailers in line, but when we pulled up, there were only 2, and one was leaving, so we pulled up right behind them, and we're right in, so we didn't even have to wait, which is pretty great. This dump station has 2 lanes, and the hoses here are threaded. Well, I hope you enjoyed coming along with us to Grundy Lake Provincial Park, and as always, if you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell because I have even more camping adventures ahead. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next site.